Welcome students. Today we will start a new chapter from our SST book and the chapter number 6 we will start today, and the name of the chapter is Amazing India. So Amazing India means what? Which surprised us. Amazing means surprising. So we will come to know about the surprising India. Many things are there in India which surprised us. So that we will come to know. But before that, one story time is there. So let us see the story, what is given. So it is a story of Rajasthan. Abhilasha, a girl, is from Rajasthan and loves to travel different parts of India. So her hobby is to travel the whole India. So she has been writing her diary. So she maintains her diary also. That means many people are there, those who writes the diary. That means the everyday work, the important works, what they do, they write in a diary. So she also does like that. Since she was a little girl, that means when she was very little girl, that time she started writing her diary, and she continues writing her diary. So on her journeys, she has met a lot of people. So as her hobby is traveling, so she met various people, many people she met, taken photographs also with them, then noted every detail in her diary. So she has written everything what she does or what she did. So she has written in her diary. She would love to share her experiences with all of us. So the people, those whom she met, or with us also she is sharing her experiences. So India is indeed a beautiful country. We know that India is very beautiful country. So which has many different landforms. Landforms, that means the lands. Somewhere we find it is very high, that is called mountain. Somewhere we find little lower than the mountain, it is called the hills. And somewhere we find the plain, somewhere we find the plateau land, which is little higher than the plain land. So the landforms, then the rivers, then islands. So these things are there in India which are very beautiful. These landforms together form the physical features. So these are called the physical features, these landforms, physical features of India. So let us find out more about the geographical features. These are the geographical features what we find in India. Our homeland, it is called the homeland because we are living in India, so that is why it is our homeland. So we find many things in India which are very surprising things. Okay, so let us start our chapter with the physical features of India. The physical features of our India. What are the physical features are there? So let us discuss. So here first one girl is there. Her name is Stanjin. So she is telling that I am Stanjin and I live in Leh. So Leh, a place which is in Ladakh. I think some of you have heard about the Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. So there, one place is there, Ladakh, and in Ladakh, Leh is there. It's a very beautiful place. Leh is there, which is in the largest town in Ladakh. In Ladakh, Leh is the largest town. It is the biggest town, you can say. Ladakh is very cold region. If you see in TV also, sometimes you will find that Leh, Ladakh. So these are very cold areas. The great Himalayan ranges. So here we find the Himalayan ranges, that means the Himalaya mountains Himalaya mountains, and it is a very big range. That means continuous mountains are there, one after another mountains are there. These are called the mountain ranges we find towards the south of this region. So south of this Ladakh we find Himalayan ranges. The Himalayas are covered with snow. We see in TV also that, or in the picture also, sometimes we see the magazine, we see the books. So if we see the picture of Himalaya, there we find that the peaks are covered with the snow. So snowfall is there all the time. The highest peak in the world. So in the Himalayan ranges, the highest peak means, suppose this is the mountains. So somewhere it is big, somewhere it is down also. See, suppose it is the mountain range, and this part it is covered with snow all the time. Okay, these are snow, and here the highest peak, suppose it is the highest peak. So this is called Mount Everest. In the world, it is the highest peak, Mount Everest, and it is situated in Nepal. In Nepal, the highest peak of the world, Mount Everest, is situated. Many rivers start in the Himalayas. So from these Himalayas, many mountains are there. So from there, many rivers also starts, like Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra. So from here, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, these rivers also start. These rivers receive water from the melting snow of the mountains. That means here you can see the snow, and when it melts, जब पिघल जाता है, when it melts, so it becomes water, and from here the river flows. That means the snow melts, and after that it becomes water, and this water flows through the rivers. So this Brahmaputra, Ganga and Yamuna, these rivers also started like this. I speak Ladakhi. So that girl, she lives in Stanjin, and her language is Ladakhi language. That means in Ladakh it is called Ladakhi language, and her favorite food is thukpa. Thukpa, it is a kind of soup, noodle soup with chicken or vegetables also. Sometimes the soup is made, and with the noodles people use it. You can see here the picture is given in your book, thukpa, and a Ladakhi woman, her dress is also given. What are the dresses they wear? I wish I could go and visit the great Indian deserts. So that girl, which story we have discussed, Abhilasha. So she wished that if I could go there, the nice place, I could visit there. Okay. Now I am Surabhi. So another girl, she is telling that my name is Surabhi and I live in Lucknow. She lives in Lucknow. So it is the capital of Uttar Pradesh. The capital of Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow, and the girl Surabhi, she lives in Lucknow. The river Gomti. So here one river flows. The name of the river is Gomti. So it flows through the city. That means in Lucknow it is there. The great Himalayan range runs through the northern part of Uttar Pradesh. So these Himalayan ranges, so many mountains are there, and these mountains are there in near Uttar Pradesh also. We find these Himalayan ranges. So rivers such as Gaghara, Gandak, Gomti, Yamuna and Ganga. So these rivers flow through plains. That means from here these are the height from where the water falls, and after that it becomes like that. It is the, So these areas are plain and these are mountains. So this Ganga, Yamuna, then Gomti, these rivers flow towards the plain also. So what is plain? Plain is the flat area. It is the plain area. You can say it is the flat area. Okay, this is the plain area and leveled land. That means here no ups and downs are there like that. So these are the plain. And the land in the plains is fertile. So fertile means the land which is very useful for the crops, for the vegetables, for the plants to grow. This is called fertile. So the land is very fertile. So here near the river, suppose these lands are there. So these lands, plain land, these plain lands are very fertile for the crops and the vegetables. So many people have settled in the Great Indian Plains. So this plain area, it is called the Great Indian Plains, where most of the India's people, they live there because the roads, because they can construct building, then the railway lines are also there, markets are there, cities are there. So that is why people prefer or people like these plain areas. So Lucknow is famous for kebabs and biryanis. That I think most of you know that Lucknow is very famous for kebab and biryani. My mother makes beautiful chicken curry dupattas. So that Survi, she is telling that her mother, she can make chicken curry dupattas. So chicken curry is a handmade work with thread and needle. So on the cloth only with thread and needle, she makes some designs. It is called the chicken curry design or chicken curry work. It is very famous in Lucknow. So I wish to see the cold regions of North India. Now she is telling that if I could visit the cold place or the cold region of India. So let us see about the cold region. Next, I am Madhav Singh. So one boy, he is telling that my name is Madhav Singh and he is from Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer is a place name. Okay, Jaisalmer, which lies in the state of Rajasthan, and this Jaisalmer is in Rajasthan. We find it is Jaisalmer, it is in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is a part of the Great Indian Desert. Great Indian Desert, which is also known as Thor Desert. And desert, what you know, desert is the area where very less rainfall is there and plants and vegetables are very less, because these areas are sandy areas. Here the land is covered with sand, Bali. So which is also known as Thor Desert. The Great Indian Desert is also known as Thor Desert. This region gets scanty rainfall. Scanty rainfall, that means very less rainfall. Means बारिश एकदम नहीं होता है, बहुत ही कम. That is why it is called scanty. Always shortage of rainfall. So it is very hot and dry. So as rainfall is not there, so the place is very hot and dry also. So during summer season it is very hot and dry, while the winters are very cold. But at the same time the winter is very cold. In the winter these areas are very cold. The desert is made up of sand dunes. So in the desert we find that in desert area we find like this, like that some hills we find, and it is made of this sand. So here these are the sand dunes. It is called the sand dunes. These are called the sand dunes. That means because of the strong wind, the sand, it goes to that place and then it becomes like a hill. So these are called the sand dunes. So these hills of sand, it is called the sand dunes, which keep shifting continuously. It shifts its place because of the wind. Now again the another wind comes. This hill, it may be here also. Okay, so this way it always keeps changing. There is very little vegetation due to the scarcity of water. So as here we find that very less rainfall is there, so that is why vegetation is also very less. That means growing crops and vegetables, it is very less. Since it is difficult to walk on the sand, so it is very difficult to walk on the sand because the sand gets very quickly heated by the sunlight. So it is very difficult to walk there. So their main transport is camel, because camel can bear the heat of the sand. So I am a folk singer. He is telling that Madhu Singh, he is a folk singer, that means the local songs of Rajasthan. So he can sing that songs very well, and I can also play tabla, so he can play the tabla also. My favorite food is dal bati churma, so it is the popular dish or popular food of Rajasthan. So I wish I could visit the beaches of South India. So now she is telling that if I could visit the beaches of South India beaches, that means near the sea or ocean, beautiful beaches are there. So she is telling that if I could go there. Now next, I am Vijaya. So one girl, she is telling that my name is Vijaya and I live in Bengaluru. And Bengaluru, which is the capital of Karnataka. Capital of Karnataka, it is called Bengaluru, and she lives in Bengaluru. Vijaya, the weather in Karnataka is very pleasant throughout the year. That means the whole year the weather is very pleasant. It is very nice weather. The southern part of India is peninsula. The southern part, that means the Indian map, if you see, the Indian map, if you see that the down part, it is like that. So it is the triangular shape, you can say. In the south side of India we find in this triangular shape, and peninsula, that means a peninsula is a piece of land. So this is the land, this is the land area we find, and surrounded by water on three sides. So here all the side it is surrounded by the water. So all the sides we find the water here. It is called the peninsula. On the western side of the Arabian Sea, so here western side, it is called the western side, it is called the eastern side, and it is called the south side. So in the west side we find the Arabian Sea, in the east side we find the Bay of Bengal, and the south side we find the Indian Ocean. So here Indian Ocean is there, here Arabian Sea, and here Bay of Bengal. So these three sides are covered with water. That is why it is called peninsula. Clear? The peninsular region of India is also called the Deccan Plateau. So it is also called Deccan Plateau. It is also called the Deccan Plateau. This land is also called the Deccan Plateau. It is the south side of India and it is called the Deccan Plateau. A plateau is a flat tableland, and plateau means what? Plateau means it is like a table. It is like a tableland. Okay, and the surrounding area is plain. These are the plain area, and it is high So this high land, here plain area is there, surrounded by the plain area, and if we go little up, again we find the plain area, and again it goes down. It is called the plateau land. Okay. So many rivers such as the Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri flow in this region. So in this region we find Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri river. These rivers get water from the rains. Tea and coffee plantations are also found out. Say here we find tea and coffee plants are more. Okay. So some of the important cities in South India are Hyderabad, then Bengaluru, Chennai and Kochi. So these are the important cities we find: Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai and Kochi. So on the western and eastern side of the Deccan Plateau, mountains and hills are there. So this plateau, Deccan Plateau, if we see the western and eastern side, western side that is this side and eastern side that is this side, so we find here mountains and hills are also there. These are called the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats respectively. So these are called Western Ghats in the west side, and in the east side it is called Eastern Ghats. The area where the land and the sea meets is called the coast. Now the area where the land and the sea meets. Now this is the area where the sea is there and this is the land. So this is the land and this is the water. This is the land, this is the water. So here the point we see it, the coast area. Okay, it is called the coast. So along the eastern and western coast of the peninsula, there are narrow strip of flat land called coastal plain. So here a narrow strip of land is there, and it is called the eastern and western coast. So here it is eastern coast in the east side and western coast in the west side. So I wish I could meet my friend who lives in the Lakshadweep island. So next she wished that yes, if I could visit my friend who lives in Lakshadweep island. So we will come to know about the Lakshadweep island in our next class. So I think whatever we have discussed, I think you have understood. And if you have not understood, then you see the video or watch the video again and again, so you will understand. Or if you have any doubt, we can clear it in our Zoom class. So let us end here class. Thank you.